Hey guys, how's it all going? It's FootyMan03 here, and today we are back with AJ Predicts for round number 9. Apologies for not being over to do the videos over the last few weeks. That's my fault, and I apologise on behalf of myself. As you can see, we haven't done the last 2 weeks, because one was Anzac Day, and it was a school holiday, so I'll just take a couple little break from making some content. But yes, we are back, and while I was on my break, we've been doing crap in my tips. We only got 2 over the last 2 weeks, so not very good at all. However, hopefully with me making my videos, hopefully the luck comes back to us. Anyway, let's kick it off. Thursday night football, we've got the Brisbane Broncos, of course, taking on the Canterbury Bulldogs. The Bulldogs, they just can't seem to put a half of football together at the moment. They were leading against Penrith at the break, and then they just had a brain snap in the second half. They allowed Penrith to walk over the top of them. Meanwhile, the Broncos, they came away with a good convincing victory over South Sydney, near 24 points to 20 on last Thursday night. The short turnaround shouldn't be a problem for them, and I expect them to get the job done, of course, against the Bulldogs. Moving on, we've got the Newcastle Knights taking on the South Sydney Rabbitohs. The Knights, they've surprised me. I thought they were going to be a little bit disappointing, especially with Mitchell Pearce being gone. But it looks as if the young combination of Connor Watson and Jack Cogger seem to be leading them in the right direction. South Sydney, they were good, but they just don't seem to be clicking at the moment. And the Knights are unbeaten at home so far this season, and they're going to get the job done. Moving on, we've got a bit of a road trip now. We're going over to Bathurst to see the Penrith Panthers taking on the North Queensland Cowboys. My big question, what the fuck is going on with the North Queensland Cowboys? They just can't seem to put it together at the moment. Even though they were good against the Raiders, they were just lacking that final inch in attack. However, what's going to happen with Penrith's attack now that Dylan Edwards is out for the rest of the season? Yes, that is a confirmed story, exclusive to AJ Predicts. Dylan Edwards gone for the season with a shoulder injury. However, they will get the job done, in my opinion, against the Penrith Panthers. Panthers will get the job done, I should say, over the North Queensland. Moving into the Saturday games now, we've got the Raiders taking on the Titans. Who can remember round 1? I can't remember. An underdog named AJ tipped the Titans over the Raiders and they won. But needless, the Titans they held it to the Sharks. I'll give them credit. They did well against the Sharks, but they just lacked that inch in attack. That's where Kane Elgey should have come into it. However, they are sticking solid with Bryce Cartwright. The Raiders, good victory over the Cowboys, but I'm worried they're going to get into this pattern of win-loss, kind of what the Roosters are at the moment. But good victory, very determined victory against the Bulldogs. Against Bulldogs and Eels, and then they come back and get whacked by the South Sydney side. However, they should win, considering it is at home. And home is where the heart is, they say. So the Raiders should get the job done. Moving on, we've got the Warriors taking on the Tigers in this game. The Tigers, every time they're outsiders, I get told by this one kid at my school, they win the game. However, the Warriors, they'll be looking to bounce back after, of course, their disgusting performance on Anzac Day, getting flogged 56-10. It was like 42-0 at halftime or something stupid. But I was still raging over the Nene McDonald try. But we'll get to that one later if we have time. The Tigers, people say they got ripped off. 2 forward passes, a penalty goal, but that's their opinion, in my opinion. That's their opinion, IMO. However, I'm going to go the Tigers to win this game, because I just want the Tigers to win, because I need an upset in my tipping comp. So the Tigers is going to be the way to go. Moving on, we've got the Cronulla side taking on the Parramatta Eels. They're finally hit their stride. 2 wins in a row, while the Sharks, they've got away narrowly with an unconvincing victory over the Gold Coast Titans. And the Sharks have been disappointing at home. I don't think they only had 1 win at home, and that was against Penrith. They lost to the Dragons as well as the Roosters. But they did have another good victory there as well against the Storm. So they're a mixed bag at home. They won unconvincingly at the last game between these two sides back in round 3 by 14 points to 4. Parramatta, they're coming in with the momentum, and I'm going to upset predict them in this one. Hang on. No, I'm not going to upset predict Parramatta. Cronulla will just have that mongrel in attack and defence to get home. Not by much, but I reckon I'll get there. Moving on now, the match of the day, in my opinion. Yeah, the Dragons taking on the Storm. Let's give the Dragons and the Storm a round of applause. They played great football over the last weekend. The Dragons to come away with a good victory over the Roosters, while the Storm sent the Warriors packing to destination fucked. And just as I read this, I get an article. We'll just get back to that in a second, but I've just got this story that Trent Barrett will hand in his resignation and quit as Manly coach sooner rather than later. It comes on the back of a horror few months for the club, which began with punishments for salary cap breaches and has included the Jackson Hastings drama, plus a host of player injuries. Former Manly players approached Barrett last year, warned him against signing a new contract with the club. Boy, oh boy, who knows what's going on at that club? It's getting driven down into the fucking dirt. But anyway, going back to the featured game of the week, St George, they haven't lost a game this season at home, and I expect that to continue. A good performance is needed over a fast attacking Melbourne side. And they'll get there, but not by much. Moving on, my Roosters, the Sydney Roosters taking on the Manly Riverina Eagles. The Manly, as I just mentioned, have had crisis all week long. They want to have a point to prove against the fast Roosters side. The Roosters side need a drastic change in attack after a woeful few weeks. And I am going to predict the Roosters as a Roosters fan would do. My poll question, just after that Manly news has come in, my poll question for this week will be this. Do you think that the Manly side is going backwards because of Daly Cherry? Hang on, I'll rephrase it. Should Daly Cherry Evans be stripped of the Manly captaincy? Yes or no? That's my poll question this week. Having a look now, we have the Broncos to defeat the Bulldogs, Knights to defeat the Rabbitohs. What a weekend of sport in Newcastle. You've got this big game on Friday, then you've got a sold-out A-League Grand Final between the Newcastle Jets and the Melbourne Victory. A side note, I'm going to predict the Newcastle Jets to win that one in front of a boisterous home crowd. The Panthers, they'll beat the Cowboys. The Raiders to defeat the Titans. The Tigers, they'll defeat the Warriors, not by much. The Sharks narrowly will defeat the Eels. The Dragons to beat the Storm in a high-scoring game, while the Roosters should send Manly further into crisis. Thanks for watching, AJ Predicts, guys. I hope you can stick around for the next episode. It's good to have this series back. Take care, and goodbye.